Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So this is a bit weird, because I'm actually reacting to BBC News, which is something I never thought I'd be saying on this channel. Because recently Poppy Playtime's put back on the news. Look, April 2nd, so I'm actually over a month late to this. However, I just decided to watch it now. Actually, at this timestamp that I wanted to mention in this section the game's controversies, this section is what this video is going to be based on. And oh look, it's nice actually. I heard him mention that he was in this video, so let's dive in, because here's a clip that I have been wanting to talk about for ages. This clip really worries me about what the future of the tone of the game is going to be. I'll just let us play out.
Are concerned about making sure that we never go past that line, right? This is still a game that's made for mostly children, and we are very, very sensitive about that.
Okay, so just that little line there. This is still a game that we are making mostly for children. Now, many other YouTubers, including myself, have expressed their want for Poppy Playtime to grow with the fans and get gorier and more serious as the series goes on. I just want to tell you this video is completely unscripted, right? I just got like a few things in mind I want to mention. This is just all what I feel and what I've heard other people express, that Poppy Playtime should be moving that direction. If you guys watch Pastra, he has a whole video about the dog day scene. Yeah, he praises it for how gory it is and like how dark it's got. He's praising the game for actually leaning into that. And now we have George Kirstick saying, yeah, we're going more for kids actually, and that just worried me. However, that's the only part of the section I've actually seen, because I was sort of looking for him, because I know he said it. But anyway, let's actually just watch this section and see if there's anything at all that I disagree with or want to comment on. I should put some subtitles here, just so if anyone can't hear it for some reason, then you can.
From early backlash over NFTs to accusations that the game was too frightening for the young audience who embraced it, the series has spent years walking a tightrope between creativity and criticism. So when I spoke to the people behind the game, I wanted to understand how they handled that pressure.
Okay, so first thing I want to mention is the whole being too scary for the kids that embrace the game. It's not meant for them. It's meant for people that like horror games, like myself or Niced or the Cat Bagel. Anyone, if you like Poppy Playtime, you most likely like horror games or are just into Poppy Playtime because you like it, and that's okay. But if someone isn't into horror games, you can't get mad because they get scared of it. You can't see a child get scared of Poppy Playtime and go, "Ooh, they shouldn't be making it scary."
And how they balance horror with the responsibility of creating something children inevitably latch onto.
It's a very interesting development experience because we have, as you identified there, a very broad audience of players, from fairly young, casual players to more mature, core gaming audience players. And so that makes it a difficult game to satisfy all tastes and play styles. But it also means that we tune a lot of our decisions to make sure that we can kind of keep the accessibility just right, where the horror is measured and calculated, that we don't alienate our youthful audience members or people who are not necessarily core horror fans, but also still have enough teeth that we can draw in and engage a more mature audience.
Some parents have said that it's not quite appropriate for children. So how would you respond to that? And is that something you think about when you're coming up with these stories?
A lot of us are parents, and a lot of us are concerned about making sure that we never go past that line, right? This is still a game that's made for mostly children, and we are very, very sensitive about that.
Okay, and this is not about this, but it's about the point. The guy earlier said, the Chapter 5 game director, he mentioned about keeping it scary enough that it engages actual horror fans, but not too scary that children are like, Huggy Wuggy's gonna kill me in my sleep. Oh my god, Catnap's gonna release his red gas and make me sleep, and then he's gonna eat me. However, there's something. 1 minute, let me just grab a screenshot of it. Raleigh Journal entry 3. You're trying to make it a little bit more suitable for kids. Let me just read this out. This wasn't what I thought, what anyone thought. They took me somewhere, not out, but under, deep underneath everything. They gave me a shot, and I went to sleep. Maybe that was days ago, maybe it was weeks. I remember images. My skin opened up like flower petals. A man who looked like a doctor digging around inside me, taking things out. I remember feeling his touch through my ribs and into the back of my spine. I remember hearing a snap where everywhere was red. I woke up, everything hurt, so I screamed. Hours and hours of screaming. I stopped when I knew no one was listening. I'm not me anymore. My body is not my body. My hands are not my hands. I tried to brush the hair, I still feel like my shoulders, and touch nothing. I can't separate my fingers, even though I can almost feel them move. Yeah, no, that's just completely the opposite of what you just said. That is more driving in actual horror fans than like appealing to children. So I feel like for chapter 4 they were leaning more towards driving the horror fans, which I love. I love when they get more gory. And if I play chapter 6 and because for example the prototype like reveals, oh my god, he's got a skull behind his mask and there's like a massive black censor bar over it, then I am going to be so mad because I just don't want to censor anything. This is supposed to be a gory game. This game has never ever felt like it was appealing to kids apart from chapter 2. Chapter 2 didn't feel very scary. It's one of my favourites gameplay wise. However, fear wise it's chapter 3. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you really enjoyed it, then please like and subscribe